Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today with an article from Outkick from August 29th. And given that I am a denizen of the northwest suburbs of Chicago, I feel like Chicago news kind of radiates over to me. So Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson might be the biggest clown mayor in the history of mayors. And I kind of figured it was going to be this way after the last election because, we had good old Lori Lightfoot. And I remember talking to my mom about this because she is a born and bred native Chicagoan, and I was just like, "This dude's gonna be worse." And she was like, "How the hell is he gonna be worse than her?" But at the same time, I was kind of like, "Yeah, he probably is." So let's go into the article, and this is the man right here. It says it wasn't the national secret Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson was going to be a disaster as the leader of the Windy City, but even his biggest detractors couldn't have foreseen this level of stupidity. Says in a nod to the criminal thugs who destroyed Chicago for the last 4 to 5 years, Johnson recently announced he's suing Kia and Hyundai based on the claim based on the claim that companies have inferior anti-theft devices, and that has led to a surge in car theft and crimes. So apparently, it's the car company's fault that their cars are you're able to break into their cars. So at the same time, why doesn't he go ahead and sue, like, say Anheuser-Busch, because there were drunk people out walking around on the streets, and someone might have done something. A drunk person did something, so let's sue Anheuser-Busch. You know, that's basically the same thing. Or it's the whole argument about guns, where it's let's sue the gun manufacturer for the bad people that use guns in a bad way and do bad things with them. So this is incredibly stupid. It says the guy has only been on the job since mid-May, and he's already making a huge push for former Mayor Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot's crown as the biggest clown in the history of mayors. Yeah, so to have two people this awful in a row as mayor, got that can destroy a city. I mean, it's going to destroy it even more. In the city's lawsuit, Johnson's team alleges Kia and Hyundai failed to utilize industry standard engine immobilizers, and because of that, car crime soared. Yes, again the car companies. I'm sure they want their cars to get stolen. I'm sure they're not doing their best to make sure people don't have their cars that they bought. Says plot twist. You know where the scumbag car thieves learned how to steal the cars? Let's see. Via TikTok videos where thugs were trying to steal the cars with a USB cord. Wow, I did not realize you could do that with a USB cord. I'm not going to try. I just didn't know that was a thing. So does the mayor plan to file a lawsuit against TikTok charging them with being an accessory to the crimes for hosting the videos? Of course not. Yeah, that's kind of like the same thing too. Does the mayor plan to get tough on crime? No chance, because, when people are just killing each other indiscriminately in your city, you don't want to get tough on crime because, oh no, that would be a problem. It says clearly we don't have a crime problem. We have a Kia problem in the city of Chicago, according to Mayor Johnson. Chicago Democrat Alderman Raymond Lopez told Fox and Friends on Monday. The numbers speak for themselves. 104% increase from last year, a 234% increase in vehicle thefts from 2 years ago, but yet it's the car's fault. Well said, Democrat Alderman Raymond Lopez. So it says it's the fact that they were so easily taken by criminals who run rampant in the city of Chicago, but we have yet to hear our mayor say anything, one word about the criminals running rampant in our streets, he continued. And all he does is all he does in turn is lambast the media, lambast those who try to hold criminals accountable by playing word games. Is this guy, this alderman here, is he the same one that kept going after Lori Lightfoot too? I'm wondering. His name looks really familiar. I wonder if he is. I mean, I don't care if he's a Democrat. He's saying the right things. That's exactly what he should be saying. And if it's the same guy, then that dude's pretty based for a Democrat. While the mayor is busy going after the automobile companies, a TV news crew was robbed Sunday while it was out to report on robberies. Oh, that's always fun. That's now the second TV news crew to be robbed this month, and that is in Chicago. It should have added that because I remember seeing the other story. It says, as if it wasn't amusing enough for the mayor to blame Kia and Hyundai for their role in this, there have been security fixes to stop the TikTok thefts, but guess what happened after the fixes? That's right, the scumbag thieves adjusted to the fixes, as you could probably expect was going to happen. Because in May, the Associated Press reported the fixes haven't solved the problem and noted thieves are still driving off with the vehicles. So it says the scope of the problem is only expanding, and it is exponentially worse than it has been in the past. Brian O'Hara, the police chief of Minneapolis, told the AP, "We have some weeks where nearly as many Kias and Hyundais are stolen in a week as had previously been stolen in a year." Yeah, so how you stop these? You make people not want to do this. How do you make people, the criminals, not want to do these crimes? By putting them in jail, by hiring more police to be able to put them in jail. This isn't a difficult thing. I don't get paid for this, and I shouldn't like be able to tell you how to do your job. Because as of May, there were 4.5 million Kia vehicles that were eligible for the fixes that are said to stop the thieves, but the software was on just 210,000 vehicles. Hyundai had installed its updates to 225,000 vehicles out of 3.8 million on the road that are eligible. Okay, so maybe there was a problem with the cars, but still blaming the company for something individual people are doing that have no affiliation with the company. But okay. Says Johnson isn't the first mayor to file a suit against the automobile manufacturers. St. Louis, Cleveland, Milwaukee, and Seattle have all gone after Kia and Hyundai. Add the lack of prosecution for Grand Theft Auto, and you have a massive clown show. That is true. Says juveniles are joyriding in these stolen models, and when they are caught by police, Police Chief O'Hara said they're rarely held accountable for their behavior. Yeah, I'm sure all these DAs and those areas are just like, nah, slap on the wrist, if even that, go back out there, and then they just do it again because they know nothing's going to happen to them. So of course they're going to do it again. I mean, why wouldn't you? Says back in Chicago, you have prosecutors who won't prosecute, a mayor who used to be all about defunding the police before he claimed in May to be against it, and a disastrous school system. Johnson was a teacher before his political career. Oh yeah, so he's just backing all the right things. Where 55 Chicago schools reported not a single student was proficient in math or reading despite billions being funneled into the schools. That's a massive problem. I mean, if you, regardless of the side of the political spectrum you're on, if you want to win, that's how you win. Okay, make the schools better, make schools great again. But the way I've seen things in public school these days, I'm not sure I'd want people to even be going to public school. Says meanwhile, here's how the migrant situation is going in Chicago, and just a picture of the 12th precinct in Chicago. Here's yep, that's what they get to worry about. So that is the end of the article. So what do you guys think about this? For any peeps in Chicago that hear this or the surrounding Chicago area, what do you think about Mr. Mayor here, just essentially blaming other things that aren't actually responsible for the problem instead of the criminals? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye.